I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a neck. I think that's either I've fucked up the words or somewhere along the line it repeats better than ever. I think I fucked up the words, didn't I?
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a neck for making things better. Face facts, 'cause your opinion don't matter. This a maniac is gonna step on whomever.
I'm back, screwing it up. Got a knack for fucking things up. Oh yeah. Anyway, that is right. Here is a little update video after the announcement of my return. I have risen from the grave via the aid of a phoenix, which was a spectacular video, I think. Whoa, okay, fair enough. You want to take the ego trip route? You take the ego trip route. If you insist, I will. Yes, indeed. Okay. A fucking good video, wasn't it? Best video on the internet, really, frankly, I'd say. Anyway, I'll give a bit of detail of that video, I suppose. The first section, the graveyard, that was my own 3D animation, which there'll be more alludings. That's not really a word, is it? I will allude to it more later on, but I don't think you have alludings, do you? But nevertheless, here's an update video. The first part of the return video was my own 3D animation. The second part, for those of you who didn't know and thought, bloody hell, he got fucking good fucking quickly, didn't he? That's an okay graveyard, and then that thing? Wow! That was, in fact, the Phoenix summoned from Crisis Core, which was also the music utilised in the second half of the return video as well. The first half, of course, was the Xanacan theme. Ding, 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 ding. I am fucking depressed. He is so very dead. Oh yes, he's dead indeed. Would have been convenient because this ship blows up eventually. You are watching footage of... I never do things in the right order, do I? You are watching footage of the Guns of Icarus. If you do not know what the Guns of Icarus is, it's quite good. It's actually fantastic. Of course, there we go, my ship. Unfortunately, there's only so much an engineer can do until finally it succumbs to the simple fact that it's going to explode. So anyway, I haven't got... No, I've got about 5 minutes left to cover all topics in this update video and stop the ramblings. I can't help but get distracted by my own gameplay, which is unfortunate. That is how good the Guns of Icarus is. It's a little bit of detail. I should have time to go into a bit of detail of the Guns of Icarus. Although, having said that, I do have more footage of the Guns of Icarus where I do talk about it a lot more, but that's going to come out after this video, but was actually recorded before this video. So if you think, wow, he's gotten way worse at the Guns of Icarus since the update video, it's because actually I've gotten slightly better at the Guns of Icarus. I've started learning a lot more, so half the things I think I say in the original Guns of Icarus video I no longer think, because I've subsequently learnt bits and pieces. Now we're on to the last bit of footage, which is a fairly lengthy piece of footage, I admit. We managed to keep this ship alive for a long time. I'm an engineer, but obviously engineers do double as gunners when the need calls, but when the ship is flashing everything's red, double engineers have to tend to go on duty and start fixing everything. So let's get on with some of the actual key things in this update before I run out of footage, which is rare because I've deliberately kept it short this time, but of course the rambling hasn't been kept short, so I may end up having to add more footage or some such, but still. Anyway, key thing, I had a massive break. Now, the beginning of that break was because I was working on a 3D animation project. Nothing to do with the graveyard, that was after the fact. But nevertheless, I was quite engrossed in a project that was massively humongous, and then I sort of got back into the notion of doing recordings, but then I thought, I want to make a big thing about the return, so I want to do a massive return video. And then there was a slight flaw in that plan, because I realised I haven't got any footage for the massive return video, which means I have to put off the return in order to get the footage to put in the returns video. So yeah, there was a certain amount of awkwardness there, but nevertheless, obviously, I eventually got round to recording all the footage, and in that, I'd love to know if anybody can name every single game in that returns video. Obviously, not all of the footage was video games, that's just a statement. Not all the footage was video games, but most of it was, and it would be delightful to know if someone can actually name every single game featured, even though they're only little snippets. So yes, these snippets are proof and a promise that Overlord will return. I will be back in the land of Overlord. Very nearly went to the God of War theme instead, but I managed to get it right. Back to Overlord. We are going back to Overlord. That's the key thing. Now, alright, next thing on the list, because I'm definitely running out of footage. And of course, all the other little snippets of games weren't just... They certainly weren't all LPs. I'll warn you there. They are not every single LP I'm doing in the future. No, I'm bringing back from the dead Dragon's Half Hour. But it is no longer Dragon's Half Hour. It has been reborn to something new. So hopefully you can all look forward to that spectacle. And also other plans. I alluded to the fact that I want to get back onto the clue-based LPs. Obviously, one of the clue-based LPs was Overlord. It was the number 1 vote. And, of course, there's the number 2 vote. I'm not going to reveal what it is, because you've either guessed by now from the musical clue that was present when it was voted for many, many, many months ago, or you've got no idea and it will be a lovely surprise. But nevertheless, clue-based LP I want to do up next. Not next. I said up next. I know I said up next. Didn't actually mean up next. Up next is likely to be the 2-year anniversary, which I am gonna celebrate in style. Might even pick up a prostitute or two. I'm gonna shoot my gun. The actual gun, not a... That wasn't a euphemism. Now, I've definitely run out of footage. Shit. There's one more thing I have to say, which is unfortunate, because now I'm going to have to try and figure out a new bit of footage that's going to match the rest of what I'm saying without actually being in the background. So if I have footage that's too long, it's going to go, I should have planned this out a bit more. That's unfortunate. Anyway, whatever happens to be on the screen, fuck knows! Fuck cares. I tell you what, hang on. Although I have got some backup footage. Backup footage. Now, commence the backup footage. That means there's a gap or something. But anyway, you're right. Final statement of facts. What have we been through so far? New Dragon's Half Hour with a brand new makeover. We've been through that. I'm going to do the clue-based LP special at some point, but I don't know when. And the next special, marvellously wondrous thing will be the almighty 2-year anniversary, where we'll celebrate in style. And now I'm fiddling around with footage, even though I'm not. Yeah, it's getting complicated. Key next issue. The final update part of this video, which leads into spectacularness. I mentioned a 3D project earlier on, which is why I ended up not doing anything on the channel. Well, I want to share that 3D animation with you, so Eventually I will display it for all to see, but until then I'm going to give little tantalising teasers of all the test pieces of footage. We had to keep a blog of the bits and pieces we did, and being that 3D animation is very much a sort of movement based thing, I put lots of videos together on the blog page itself, and I want to share them with you as well. So I figure what I'm going to do is, on the end of this video, is the first video you'll see is the first 3D project I ever did. So that's probably 5 to 6 years ish ago. That was the first time I'd ever picked up a 3D animation program. You don't really pick up a program, do you? Oh well, never mind. It's the first time I ever touched a 3D animation project, or 3D animation program, whatever. And then after that little video, there is the first of my test videos, the very first week of picking up the program of the recent times. So hopefully, as long as I time it relatively well, that clip will be coming up very soon. But there's a little tiny bit left, a little bit more burning. Yeah, that was craziness. It was a junker. Every weapon was a flamethrower. Fuck distance, fuck everything. Everything burns. And then we blow up. Of course, getting that to line up with when I say and then we blew up is going to be awkward. The 3D animation project! Update over.
Hi, I'm the Chronicler. I will tell you a tale of myth and of legend. As with many tales, ours begins with a monster. Launch the mines! Oh no!